Hey, it's James from Finney Electrical. On today's video we are installing a Zappi charger. So we're going to explain how to do it, and thank you for the subscriber who recommended us to his customer. So let's get into this. So into the job then. So we're just unpackaged the Zappi then. So what do you get with it then? So this is a tethered one, obviously it comes with your lead. So the little holder that goes around the back of it, and then you get a CT clamp with it, some instructions, some screws, and that's about it. That comes in a box. So what we're going to do simply is put in this here then. So Zappi's going to go there. The customer's already run the cable from here down to here. It's got a big enough supply into the garage so we can actually take off the garage board. So a lot of the time you might have like a 4mm running to a garage, which wouldn't be able to take it, or even a 6mm. So if that was on with other bits, it probably couldn't take it. But yeah, the customer's done all the work for us, and he's even bought a little RCD for us to fit. So it's a 2-pole RCD that's going to go in type A. I think it's 40 amp he's got, so that should be able to take it. Right then, so let's get the lid off the Zappi and we'll show what's going on, how to fit it. Right then, so we'll whip him off then. Lid off, like a little jump lead in here, so we'll just unplug that then. So there we go, you got your little Wi-Fi plugged in, so you need to make sure that's plugged in and hasn't fallen off. And then here's the Zappi then. So you get like a little silicone pack, great for drying out flowers. Our house loves these. And she says, save them when you get them. No, I'm sad. Right then, so that's going to sit there nicely. So it should fit between these gaps without kind of sitting funny. So I think we'll go over here. Going to make sure the garage door doesn't clash with it as well. So we'll probably get him centralised there, get him fixed. But essentially it's just 3 screws. So top, left, right, and that'll be nice and solid. So we'll try not to get these screws too long as we're popping out the back. But we'll get that fixed first. Getting these little screws out the back so it doesn't pop through the back. We had a fun night last night, so it was like a charity event. So I had to have a suit in back of my van and whip it on, representing Oscar's paediatric brain tumour charity. But yeah, that's from the, if you remember the 3 peaks video, I don't know if Reddit will put the link here. But yeah, that were a nightmare. 3 peaks, 14 hours, and my legs went on peak 2. And I had 6 hours to go, my legs were knackered. But yeah, so great charity, but yeah, they were nominated for Charity of the Year for York Mix Awards. So yeah, we're a good night really, but oh, I'm knackered today. Yeah, let's get this Zappi up. Right then, so it's 25mm gland now then, so we'll pop that in there and then we'll get the cable in. So it's an armoured cable, so it's got like a metal braiding, so we're going to not export that earth to the Zappi, so we're just going to use a plastic gland. So we're just going to basically just ream it off, tape round it and then shove it through. There we go. Right then, that's glanded off beautifully then. So that just goes in there, it'll tuck in, we'll get a few armoured little cleats in there just to tidy it up. But what we'll do now is just slice down it then, come in like so. There we go, and that should. That'll do. Then all you do is just bend back and forward your armoured braidings. And they should just snap off nice and easy. Might be here a while.
Please don't look at me like that.
Why not?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right, so that's stripped off now. So just going to gently score around this, which you've already done. And then if you scored around enough, you want to score as little as possible, and then just bend it, and you'll see it just kind of open up like that. If you've gone too deep, then you're gonna have to run the cable again if you've chopped into it, haven't you? I'll do like a little joint down here and extend it. But you can't have copper it showing. So that's probably perfect that. So if I give that a tug with 2 hands, I might be able to do it with 1 to be fair. I don't think I'll need 2 hands. Yeah, if I give that a tug, that should, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. That'll do. There we go. That's all ready to go in then. So if you look down here, it says L1, neutral, and earth. So we've got brown, and we'll use the black as neutral, and then grey. Look what they're doing to me. Tape on my head, we use black as earth, sorry, and grey as neutral generally. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's the same each end. But generally people use grey as neutral and black as earth. Oh well. They're funny, they're coming back giggling because they put a piece of tape on my head.
The boss is not pleased.
You know what? I've just about had it. All of you here, you are all fired.
What? You have enough.
Do I look like I'm off love? Do I look like I'm off love?
I don't know. Right, but what I do like to do then is just have like a bit of a play on this then. So I'll come in like that, and we'll just have him come round and then in. So if we chop it about there, we'll have plenty to play with. So if you have a bad termination, you've got to re-terminate it. You're about to just re-strip it and re-strip it and re-strip it all the way up to about here. So you've got plenty to play with there. There we go, that is all in. So we've got line, earth, neutral, we've slaved them up so we know which is which, and that is all set up basically. So if you did have we're basically going to install this thing called a Harvi, which is over here. So this is going to set up a wireless link between here and the CT. But yeah, if you didn't have that, essentially you just wire in your CT that comes with it into CT1, so pos and neg, so the red will be in pos and your black in neg, into CT1, and then that'd obviously go, if it's close to your house, you'll be able to clamp it on to your incoming tails. We've got to do that anyway, but what we're going to do is do this Harvi, which I think goes up to like 100 metres or something, so it's got quite a good range. But this customer's also got a wireless alarm system in here, so it's super secure. But yeah, with that you could have some issues with the frequencies. So you've got different channels as well, which you can change it to basically land on different frequencies. So we'll have to look at that to make sure that it's not going to interfere with the current alarm system. Right, I'll get the cover back on then. Looking good, it's getting wrapped up. There we go then, time for the lid then. No, it goes after. Right, so yeah, you hold that, I can't film and do it. I think it just goes in, top first and then bottom. There we go. Lovely, spot on that. There we go, right, and then this just plugs in. Nicey nice. Jobs are good then. Look at that, looking sweet. Right, that's that side done, apart from this little cleat that we'll bang in. He's getting scared of a rake. I headbutted that earlier, didn't I? Right then, so what we've got. What we're going to do is get this wide into here then. So here's his little board, it's a fuse box board. We've got his RCBO, type A, 2-pole. So with EV charge you have to have a 2-pole RCD on it. So you can either get an MCB and then run it through an RCD unit, like 2 in, 2 out, like the one that takes up 2 spaces. Or, dropping it. It obviously needs to be a type A 30mm RCD, but or you can get an RCBO, that's double pole. So the fuse box miniature, it says mini there, is 2-pole. I think the bigger one that's not miniature is single pole, so you got to watch out for that one. Right then, let's get this glanded off. I think they've already put a gland in as well, so we're just going to get this stripped, get that in there, get it wired into his breaker, and then we're just onto the setup then with the Harvi. Right then, so we've got that up to there. I've sent Ellis to Van to get me a little nut on washer so we can do the banjo bit. So basically you've got to earth the braiding. It should just clip on there nicely, so we'll get that in. And then, there we go, that's clipped in, so I have to tighten him up. So nice fat driver. And then with these then, so these RCBOs, so live and neutral runs through it, and the neutral whirl of the RCBO just goes to the neutral bar then, so we'll have to get that tucks around the back and up into the neutral bar for circuit 3 of this. It's a nice neat enough fuse board this. I'm going to get the banjo facing forwards, get him drilled in, then get all this tightened up, and then a little earth tag from here to the earth bar. And then, like we said, it will be black as earth, so I have to sleeve that up earth and get that in there. Grey is neutral, and then line, brown as line, something like this. Right then, so we haven't got any fat earth sleeve in, so what we're going to do is just get us inner core, so it's a 6mm. We've got a 6mm little M6 crimp lug thing, then all we're going to just twizzle him in. You can line it up right. Basically the earth stripes lands equally all the way down. Just bang it at a 45-degree angle like that. Twizzle him in. Look at that. Beautiful. There we go, that's in now, so let's get that tightened up. In we go then. So obviously we're going to get a few cleats in that, Ellis is going to be on that. But yeah, that's it. So you got your little we've earthed the braiding, but we haven't exported it to the Zappi, and that's all nicey nice. So Henry's going to get a test on that and get him turned on, and then we can actually start with the setup. I'm going to go into the meter cupboard and basically put on something called a CT clamp, so a current transformer. So what that does, it'll basically, it's like a magnet, and any current that goes through it, it'll be able to pick up how much the house is using, so you don't kind of overload your system essentially. But yeah, if you had like solar, you could set it to generation and have 2 clamps on, one for your load and one for your generation. And then what it'll be able to do, you can set your Zappi to Eco++, and what that'll do is basically just charge on the excess solar, so you're charging your car for free, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I got ahead and sorting out the testing then for the Zappi then. So what we're going to do is set up the Harvi then. So obviously the Zappi is the EV charger, and this is the Harvi then. So this box will wirelessly connect to the Zappi and basically extend the CTs, which is in this box. I think it's up to 100 metres, I'll have to check the instructions. But we're going to try and fit this somewhere, so we might bang him down here, eh? So we'll bang him down here, and then what we'll do is get the CT wired up and then get him clamped on to the line cable here. Right then, so it's CT, and that's that mounted. So it's just 2 screws, and there's no need for a power supply with the Harvi, so it actually uses the CT clamp to kind of power it up, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to put like a power supply in. So what I'll do is get his clamps on, get him routed down here, and then we'll get him into the bottom. It's got these little cable holders here, so we can pop him out. I think I need a screwdriver for that. But yeah, it just holds it nicely in place when you push it backwards. Right, that's in then, so just pos and neg to CT1. And then what we've got, so we've got a little house, picture of a house, a little picture of the grid. So obviously we want the house to be on this side, and it goes on the line, and it just clips in like so. Oh, that will run it on the back, just make it a little bit neater. There we go. Get him in, flip him in, just nice hard press, mould it in a bit more, and that should measure the load of the house. There we go, lovely. Obviously when the Zappi powers up, we can basically put it in pairing mode, it'll start flashing red, and then what we'll do is get it paired up to the Zappi then, and then what happens is the Zappi will be able to read the load of the house through the CT, and that's how it works. So it's basically just extending the wire wirelessly. There we go, we are on. So the Zappi is in setup mode. We've got the Wi-Fi password from the customer, which we won't share with you. But here we go, so it's the setup wizard. Oh, I've already messed up the setup. I've pressed it twice. Right, do you want to reset it and we'll... Right then, so this is the first device installed. We're going to set this as master because there's nothing else. And then basically it's going to do the Wi-Fi setup. So what we're going to do is connect to the Wi-Fi. So you can either do that by pressing the WPS and then clicking WPS on this and it just links up. Or you have to log in via your phone. So it's basically, this creates like a little access point that you can connect via your phone, It'll then take like a little menu where you type the customer's password in. Well, like you pick the Wi-Fi network, the password, click connect, and then it'll just connect up. So we'll do that next. Here we go, right then, so it comes up with the screen, you type in your own little password, so Hen's going to do the password that I'm going to pick. So currently it says disconnected, but when it does connect, it will say connected. So there we go, that's how you know you're connected to the internet. So what happens is then, the Zappi will actually call out through the internet to Zappi's headquarters, not like a Zappi server. The Zappi server will then see that the Zappi's connected to the internet and then give it a unique ID number. It's called an SN number and a registration number. So we'll take those two numbers that you're able to use in the app, you type those two codes in, and then you can see the Zappi online on your phone in the app. There we go, connected to the internet. We won't show his IP address, but there we go. Right then, so what we'll do is just do the date and time, set the load for the system. So sometimes if you had, I don't know, like a small supply come in, you might want to set it lower so you're not going to blow the main fuse if you know you're going to be using other high powered stuff. I think we'll set it to max. So do you want to go through that setting, mate, and we'll get it all sorted for him? Yeah, when you kick in the Zappi then it just takes ages to download. I think last one we did on the new Zappis, it's like, what did it take, about half an hour, something like that. It's just, it'll download and it'll go to 100% and then it'll download something else for another 100%. You think, oh, it must be done now. It don't, it just keeps coming and coming. 20 minutes that's up. Half an hour, something like that.
Date and time already on.
Right. So, date and time's on, so I'm just going to catch up the Harvi now. So this is already set to master. So obviously just go in the pairing options and then click pair on the Harvi and it'll collect up. The Harvi will start flashing red and then that's about it. Let's see if Ada can figure it out then. Link devices info, we're going with that one. It's just got the Zappi on that, and that's the B hub. So other settings in. Right, it's gone advanced, link devices, pairing mode, yeah. Get him on, right, search for slaves. Ooh! Here's my slave. Right, get it in pairing mode then. So you see it's flashing green at the moment, yeah, go on. Red. It should be, right, it's flashing blue now. There it's flashing red now, you see that red flash? Let's get it on camera, there we go. Right then, so that is in pairing mode, and it should link to that then. Nice and easy, and then it'll go green when it's in normal mode then, yeah. Easy. Right then, so it looks like we might have a bit of interference, so what we're going to do is try a different channel. So all you do to change the channel is just hold pair, and what it'll do is go through this cycle. So at the moment it'll flash, let's have a look. One, so it's flashed once, and then you hold it in, 1, 2, it's flashed twice. If I let go then it would stick to channel 2, 1, 2, 3, and it stick to channel 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want 5. So once it goes 5, we'll let go. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, so it should be set to channel 5, it'll start flashing red. And if I just press that, we should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 little bursts there. I don't think it picked up with the camera, but that is set to channel 5. It's flashing red, so this should pick up in the Zappi. So the Zappi, I've set that to channel 5 in the, under linked devices. So let's see if we can get this to talk to each other. Hey, it's flashing green, so it's now connected. So sometimes it takes some doing just to get that going, but we got there. Now that's finally paired, we'll go into the, so we're going to go other settings, advanced settings, we're going to go link devices, so there we go, the Harvi's connected, and what we needed to do is go into the Harvi. I'm going to pick single phase, CT1, we're going to set to grid, because on the Harvi we put pos and neg in CT1, and then we just need to make sure it's actually producing. Yes, it's pulling from the grid, 0.7 kilowatts or 700 watts into the house. Now, if you had solar, you'd see the solar go that way, and we'd have to set up CT2 as generation or whatever, but that's all set up perfectly then. So as soon as I plug in the car inside the app, they'll be able to see the car pulling in from the grid like that, or if they had solar, they'd see it coming from the solar and then into the car if it was an Eco++. But you can see how it works nicely. It's got a great kind of user interface, the Zappi. Our brilliant that then, so the customer doesn't need to get a physical cable from here all the way to his house to extend the CT. So that Harvi saves him a lot of hassle really, and the supply here battery died, sorry about that. So the customer's dead pleased that he didn't have to dig up his garden, that he's currently doing it, and he would have had to send a cable there. So the Harvi is able to wirelessly do the CCTV, the CT, so you don't have to run that cable. So it gets yourself out of a lot of sticky situations, shall we say. So here's the app setup then. So as you can see, whatever displays on here will appear on the app. No way. It's all going wrong. Right then, so we've got it on the customer's app then, so we just had to type in the registration and the SN number. So we showed you how to do that earlier. So here we go, so whatever displays on here, essentially just displays on here then. And you can also go on his car and pick when to charge it, so you can go on fast charge, Eco Plus, and do it like that. So this is peeping away. But yeah, so on the app then, so you can see his house is using 800 watts currently, so it works as like a glorified smart meter as well, so it's really handy to see where he's spending his money in his house. So a lot of people get this and they start unplugging stuff and going, oh well, what's going on here, what's using this 800 watts. But yeah, it's a good one. You can also add like an eddy device, so that's like a solar diverter. So if this customer ever gets solar in the future, we can bang another CT clamp on, you're about to see his generation for him in solar, and then divert that any excess to heat his hot water, and then from that you can prioritize it, that he'll then charge his car, that kind of thing. So it's really nice user interface. So yeah, that's all we've got time for today then. So thank you for the subscriber for recommending me to this customer. I think his name's Gary. Was it Gary Lotto? Is it on yeah, so much appreciate that. Right then, so that's all we've got time for today. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification, you know when we next upload. So always have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.